I've noticed this. I know. I know. I know.
That would save a lot of anxiety.
No, and it's that. But I understand. Like, just want to.
He just was momentarily. I have no. Don't change your protocol unless you feel like. I'm good.
All right, we're doing it?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'd invite you to find your seat on this glorious day. 'Tis a sunny day in San Francisco, as it goes. It's not raining. Very happy about that. Love the mingling, love the chatting. Add finding your seat to your mingling, chatting experience. We're doing it. We're doing it here, folks. Find your seats, please. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. We've got folks coming in. Welcome. Ushers in bay blue cloth aprons. There we go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Let's find our seats. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Presidio. Welcome to the Bay School. A beautifully overcast day. As so happens at schools, there are often multi-step directions. Now that you're seated, I would invite you to please stand. Welcome to our faculty. Welcome to our staffel team. Please be seated and welcome. We are a school, we're an incredible school, and every once in a while, counting goes askew. I'm going to invite the faculty that are currently chairless in the back to please join us at the front. Chairs are being brought up. There's been some row confusion, so come on down. Chairs are coming. Come on down, just like The Price is Right. Favorite game shows. All right, thank you, apologies. Seats will be here. All right, welcome. On behalf of the faculty, staff, board of trustees, good morning and welcome to the Bay School of San Francisco commencement ceremony for the class of 2024. Woohoo! As we often say at Bay, today is a very special day, and it is absolutely wonderful to be here together. As many of you know, mindfulness has been an essential element of Bay life since the very beginning, and it's as critical as ever in this world as Bay turns 20. We begin morning meeting, classes, events, and all sorts of moments together with mindfulness. And today we will do the same, to both feel the sense of connection through silence and to take one more opportunity to just be with the class of 2024. I invite you to lower your gaze and take in the sounds and the space that surround us today. Thank you. There's something beautiful about when we can have hundreds of people and you can still hear the parrots. If there was ever a group of students about which to have utter confidence in their future, I would suggest it is the 100 graduates of the class of 2024. And I say this not because of the litany of strengths we could all go on about. Their thoughtfulness, they ask great questions, they have a very healthy sense of humor. Rather, we know that this group of students have been tested in ways that few have over the years. The regular wrappers of their lives, their routines, their initial vision for high school were altered, with many elements of their lives rewritten before their eyes. And as I said to the class at their final morning meeting yesterday, many graduation speeches reference the development of attributes like grit and resilience. And the beauty is that in this case, the class of 2024 is a literal manifestation of such traits. And so today we gather here firmly on the other side of that unique and beautiful and challenging high school journey. And the constants, what remain true no matter the day, no matter the challenge, I think stand out with stark clarity. Graduates, many of those constants are literally surrounding you as we speak. The family, the friends, the faculty that saw you through each of those moments, the people who has always had your back, the people with whom you can be vulnerable and just be, the people who see the best of you and with whom you could envision a future glowing with optimism and anticipation with no caveats, no conditional language. Those people will be with you as you go forward, and you're going to find amazing new supporters who will join your team. As we sit here today, we also sit in the midst of another constant, the astonishing natural beauty that has been your literal everyday experience. Bay's campus is but a small part of this milieu. You're going to find new places and spaces that inspire you, that relax you, and know and remember that on many a summer day or a weekend, Bay alums pull up into one of the parking lots here and find their ways to various screens and they reconnect. This place and space will always be here to greet you. Take in this moment, the feeling of being surrounded by some of your constants, the people and places that are part of your core and will always be with you in some form. And don't forget that one of the most important constants is literally you. A Bay graduate from 2019 shared a truth that has stuck with me, and I share often. He initially believed that Bay would become his home during high school, but instead, Bay taught him that he was his own oasis and that home was wherever his full self would be. And so, to our graduates, you take with you a far better sense of self than 4 years ago. You take an incredible well of strength and insight into the constants that guide and ground your life. And remember, you are enough just as you are, and you already have what you need to thrive, just as you are. In this moment, your individual and collective potential is unlimited. And whatever comes next, you've got this. As your adventures take you far and wide, know that you'll always remain a part of Bay, and we hope that Bay remains a part of you. One of my constants in my life, I work with incredible people. I have the privilege and pleasure of partnering in so much of Bay life with remarkable educators. We laugh, we learn, we occasionally cry. It is a pleasure to introduce one of my closest working partners, an individual who lives Bay values and the values we need in this world every day of her life. Lisa Shelb, Associate Head of School.
Welcome again, everyone. I am delighted to introduce this year's student speaker. Unlike many schools, Bay does not award a GPA-based distinction such as valedictorian or salutatorian. Instead, the faculty and staffalty, choose the student they believe embodies the qualities we most hope to see in a Bay graduate. And we look for the student who has demonstrated growth over their time at Bay. While selecting the student speaker is a bit like choosing your favorite child, it is not easy. In the end, the faculty and staff chose one student. Whether in academics, athletics, school, or community involvement, this year's student speaker, Katie Wu, stands out. Here are a few things. Yeah, woo, hello, woo, woo for woo, yes. But for those of you who don't know here are a few things that the staffalty have said about Katie. As Katie's teacher, I was struck by Katie's positive attitude, spirit of risk-taking and inquiry, and the ways in which she unwittingly pulled the group together. Another quote, Katie's really interested in the world and how people interact with it. She's keen to use her position in life to make sure the world is a better place for everybody. Another quote, she's an amazing person and has a way of making everyone feel they are important and belong. Katie is a stellar athlete and student, but is also everyone's cheerleader. Please join me in welcoming Katie Wu to the podium. You can put this down to help the pages.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Hey vlog, it's Saturday morning, the day after the last day of school. Saturday, I know. But as you can tell from my unusual outfit today, it's graduation day. I'm standing on the stage podium right now in front of a few hundred, maybe thousand, I don't know, it feels like 1 million people. I'm very nervous, but hopefully the audience can't tell. Anyways, wish me good luck. Okay, bye. Good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, what a shame. My name is Katie Wu. That little act that I did there was for my vlog. For our older guests, a vlog means a video blog, usually published on YouTube. I've been documenting the past 3 years of my life since our class started full in-person school in 10th grade. Editing and posting the final weekly vlogs were intended to be posted, well, every week. But the busyness of school and my own procrastination have made it so that the last senior year vlog I posted was week 2 of senior year. And here we are in week 34. However, I never stopped recording every week. I continue to keep a record of my high school experience during class breaks, at lunch, after school, and any time a memorable moment occurs, the camera is rolling. I believe that vlogging, the act of capturing memories, and having the ability to relive them granted me a superpower ability and trained an observant eye. I started taking videos and pictures in the first place because I envied friends whose parents would always capture everything. There would be photo albums or endless folders on cloud drives with collections from when my friends were kids to now. And I wanted my own collection. What better opportunity for a photo and video collection than of my high school experience? I mean, everyone always says that high school flies by because it's such an iconic period in a person's life. Turns out those people were right. Unfortunately, my videos didn't start until 10th grade because we had a unique start to our high school experience. Might I remind everyone that 4 years ago, there was a little thing called the pandemic? Honestly, most of what I remember from my first day of high school was logging onto Zoom and having to do way too many icebreakers. I'm looking at you, Staffel-T. In silent breakout rooms because everyone was too scared to turn on their cameras and unmute themselves. Our invisibility cloaks were taken away once we came to Bay for in-person learning. Sophomore year was a blur, and all I could remember were those plaid picnic blankets that Bay gave us that everyone used during lunch when we were forced to eat outside. Then there were months of masks and tables placed 6 feet apart. I don't need to refamiliarize you all with Bay's extensive COVID protocols, but despite all the restrictions, social distancing, and inability to see more than a classmate's eyeballs, we beat the odds, found our people, and made it out in one piece, more or less. This unusual period has frequently been described as a point of weakness, as one worthy of pity. Oh, those poor kids who didn't get a chance to have a real start in high school. In many ways, I believe we grew stronger because of it. We all had a common talking point about how much we hated Zoom or the brief hobbies we picked up in quarantine. The need to come together and socialize was more pressing than ever during our sophomore year. I've always felt like we had this weird connection with one another because of this distinctive experience. My favorite class of 2024 memory was during our senior retreat at the beginning of this school year. Our class traveled to the spooky woods and spent the night glamping. That night, we had a class bonfire. The fire was small, there were no outdoor lights, and the humidity was making the area smell musty. I mean, I'm saying it's the humidity, but let's be so for real. It was probably just you guys creating that must. No offense. All signs pointed to a boring, sweaty, and dark evening. However, we huddled secrets. This was an activity called Hot Seat. As the class SLC representative, I, along with my 2 fellow SL seniors, Julia and Nuri, volunteered to lead the evening of fun during our senior retreat. Convincing 100 screenagers that they could have fun without their cell phones in the cold wilderness was nearly impossible. So you do the one thing that all teenagers love to do: spill the tea. That means hot gossip, or the inside scoop for those of you that don't know. After countless cries nominating me to be on the hot seat, I succumbed to the peer pressure, knowing it would establish a sense of camaraderie among us. And who am I kidding? I also just love talking about myself. The campfire confessions were all worth it, as there was a heightened sense of closeness and intimacy that we all felt from that night on. If you've been paying the slightest bit of attention this past year, you would know that this school year was Bay's 20th anniversary. I don't want to be biased, but I believe out of all the graduating classes throughout the years, the class of 2024 has to be the most special. Special not because we had a bad beginning or the countless things that we're proud of, but taking in the complete package. I can confidently say that there's never been a class like this and never will again. When I look into the crowd, I'm amazed by the number of examples of success in front of me. Over the past 4 years, we grew as students, leaders, athletes, artists, and most importantly, people. Personally, I've always felt that my successes, whether it was getting elected to a student leadership position my freshman year, getting a good grade on a hard test, or getting into college, were all just pure luck. I felt a strong sense of imposter syndrome, always repeating, this wasn't supposed to happen, lucky me, at all the good things that have happened to me. Recently, I've been on the side of TikTok preaching motivational quotes and inspiration because somehow the TikTok algorithm just knows that I've been in my feelings. I came across this video of this one guy telling me that my luck is made. My luck is made. When I heard those words, I realized, oh, well, duh. We make our own luck in life. We work hard to put ourselves in the right place and at the right time. So even if you don't have Mio, Dorothy, or Gina to tell you this when you're crying on their couches, let me be the one to remind us to give ourselves the credit we deserve because our luck is made by us. Above all, I think what makes me love Bay the most are the people. Staffalty are always trying to help me succeed, whether that's Bronze staying an hour past tutorial every day to re-explain to me the confusing group theory homework, crying to Mrs. King as she listens to my teenage girl problems, or Melissa Sarah connecting me to the tech office's Wi-Fi box so I can get the fastest connection while purchasing Olivia Rodrigo concert tickets. I got the tickets, by the way. Thanks, Melissa. Wherever. Thanks, Queen. I'm sure you all have your own stories of interactions with Staffalty because they always go above and beyond. So let's give it up to them. The students at Bay are the most interesting group of people I've ever met in my life. Listening to senior morning meetings has further informed me about my classmates' unique stories. Stories of childhood memories, cool hobbies, and life lessons we learned along the way made senior morning meetings my favorite ones to look forward to. My favorite morning meeting this past year was Lucas's morning meeting about the Bay clock. Where's Lucas? Hey, bud. He also was somehow able to mention Ed Sheeran as well, which I also appreciated. Lucas shared about his passion for coding and how he wants to share that passion with others through the projects that he builds. What excites me the most is the fact that Lucas did all these amazing things in just high school. I'm so excited to see what a driven guy like Lucas can create and how it'll impact the world. Or how Elsa, where's Elsa? Hey. Or how Elsa single-handedly put the whole Bay athletics program on her back and took us to the next level by bringing home a state championship in cross country. Thank you for your service, Elsa. But this excitement isn't just for Lucas or Elsa, it's for all of us. Take a step back and look at us. Look at everything we've done in just the past 4 years. Now imagine what else we have cooking up. Isn't that exciting? Going back to the beginning, when I shared my journey as a high school vlogger, social media influencer, the next big thing, whatever you want to call it, it's become increasingly obvious that most of my pictures and videos in my camera are actually not of me, but are of my classmates. In fact, there's hardly a feature of myself in my own videos. My whole Katie Woo's fan club Instagram account is pictures of my friends. Rarely does Katie Woo ever make an appearance. As they say, always behind the camera, but never in front of it. But isn't that life? Our lives are composed of the people around us. I took the Good Life class taught by Mrs. King in the first semester this past year. This class helped me realize that the key to living a good life is surrounding yourself with people you love and finding joy in the things you do. I don't think it gets any simpler than that. I think I've lived a good life during my time at Bay, and it's because being around people I care about and doing interesting things I enjoy. There's a reason why Katie Woo's fan club has pictures of other people besides me. There's a reason why you will remember the faces of others and how you made them feel in your fondest memories. In this case, I will remember the speech, not because I ate it up, but because I dropped wisdom that changed all of your lives, or at least deeply affected you all and made you feel nostalgic or excited. We live not for ourselves, but for others. Apparently, that quote has been said in the Bible and by many philosophers, and now by me, so it just has to be true. Every single one of you is included in the makeup of my high school experience, the same way I was in yours and the person next to you. It's because of this infinite tangle of connections that we should be motivated to be more open, kind, and generous. I hope we can all move forward with this idea that we live for others with the mindset of unconditional altruism. Take care of each other because we're all that we have. I would be remiss not to mention the people that got me here today. I found it really hard to find the words for today's little talk because what 18-year-old is really that inspirational? But these next few words I'm going to say came very easily to me because I've been thinking about this for years. I stand on the shoulders of a mountain of people who paved the way so that I can stand on this podium today. That's a bar. First, my grandparents. I've been fortunate to have been raised by all 4 of my grandparents on both sides of my family. Ong ba kaman kun iu ong ba zat niu. 公公，我多謝你每天告訴大家我係最好個。婆婆，你係我最好。That I love my grandparents and I'll FaceTime them every day in college. To my little sister and baby brother, Chloe and Jaden, I hope I was the best big sister ever. I strive every day to be the best example for the both of my sisters crying. Best example for the both of you. Be good, and now that the favorite child will be out of the house, maybe one of you guys will have a chance. Finally, of course, I can't forget my parents. My mom and dad are the most hardworking, kind, and generous people I will ever know. Their daily sacrifice working at a donut shop in the Tenderloin is the reason I'm here able to say that I will be the first in my family to attend college. In fact, in about 15, 20, 30, who knows how long this will take or so, I'll be the first in my family to walk across the stage with a cap and gown. My mom always reminds me that you should want to go to school for you and your future. It's true, I study so hard for my future and whatnot, but as I've gotten older, I realize that I've been so motivated to do well in school, not only for myself, but also for them. Everything I do is because of them and for them. I hope that someday I can repay the significant debt I owe to them, as they've given me a beautiful childhood. They've always provided me with opportunities that they never had growing up. It's only right that I take advantage and give my best effort. And look at where it's gotten me now. So thank you, Mom and Dad. I love you, and this is for the both of you. To all of our friends, family, and fans, thank you for showing up on our big day. Seriously though, it's because of the smiling faces sitting behind us that we get to say we did high school and are on our way to chasing our dreams. I encourage my classmates to thank their mountain of people. I sure know that all of you are a part of my mountain as well, so thank you all for being a part of my journey. Seniors, spin around and take a look at your people. Say thanks, blow kiss, do it. Say thanks, blow kiss, smile back, or give them an air hug. Whatever you want to do to show your love and appreciation to the ones who helped you get here today. Finally, I'll conclude with even more of my supposed teenage wisdom to inspire your next steps. Whatever those next steps are, I challenge you all to be open to the spontaneity of life. I had a plan coming into Bay as a naive and overachieving 13-year-old, and now I can say that none of my favorite memories were ever planned. I didn't plan on eating rocks for my first ever immersive about geology. Thanks, Nicola. I didn't plan on going to Boston for a Model UN conference. I didn't plan on having coconut curry become my new favorite food, even though that little kick of spice makes my mouth burn every bite. I didn't plan on winning league MVP this past season in basketball, but maybe that last one was planned. But I'm sure none of us planned for our first 2 years of high school to be in a global pandemic. We're entering a new chapter in our lives where there will be so many unexpected surprises. Be ready and embrace the new uncertainties. And you never know, maybe some of your favorite memories will emerge from these unplanned instances. As we begin to close this chapter and start to think about our next steps, don't forget to live in the now. We can get so caught up in the past and anxious about the future, we forget that we're living right now in this very moment. I can't believe I'm about to say this right now, but can we all just take a deep breath together? Like a mindful breath we would take during morning meetings, but with our eyes open, scanning our surroundings, and ears listening to the nature of the Presidio. We're only gonna live this moment once, and I wanna give everyone a chance to capture a mental picture or video of what this new favorite memory will really feel like. So let's take 3 slow deep breaths as we absorb it all in and allow ourselves to feel. Now, wasn't that nice? To conclude, as the great Taylor Swift once said in her song Long Live, Taylor's version, of course, remember this moment, remember this feeling, the night you danced like you knew our lives would never be the same. So soak it all in, because our lives will never be the same after today. I'm so proud of all of us, the things we have accomplished, and the best that's yet to come. Congratulations, class of 2024. We graduated. You get it? Graduate, because we ate it up. All right, whatever. Thank you.
Wait.
Hey. All right. I did it.
Yeah, I think that's deserving at least one more huge round of applause. Katie, thank you. As you can see, Katie is a font of energy and leadership and spirit. We hear from a student and we hear from a staffordie member each year at graduation. And that staffordie member is chosen by the senior class. Today, we welcome an incredible teacher from the science department. This individual has been many things for this class, from teacher to supporter to trip leader to outdoor enthusiast. She makes every student feel like they too can be a successful scientist, and seniors spoke to her genuine care, her endless energy and enthusiasm, and her obvious passion for teaching and learning and doing science. I'm thrilled to introduce Hayden Shea.
Hello. All right, I got to get to the right page here. You all look beautiful, by the way. I'm so grateful and humbled to be up here. It's not often that students assign their teachers a homework assignment at the end of a busy school year. I didn't get a rubric, and I'm going to do my best. So we'll see what comes out here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Hayden. I am really lucky to teach science here, and it's a really full circle experience for me. The last time I gave a speech like this, I was on my own high school graduation day 13 years ago. Now, before you feel too impressed that I was my high school graduation speaker, I only had 6 kids in my graduating class. I was no Katie Wu, shout out, amazing speech. We all had to give speeches, and I tried desperately to find that speech. I was hoping to pull some slightly cheesy line to circle back to as the foundation for this speech. It would have been really poetic. But unfortunately, that speech is lost on some thumb drive, which, for those of you that don't know, is this cool memory device that we used to use before the cloud was a thing. I really don't remember much from that day. I have no idea what I said or anything anyone else said. Honestly, that's taking a little pressure off of me right now. I can remember what it felt like to sit up there and watch my graduation unfold. As you probably gathered from my class size, I went to a fairly unique school. It was only 200 kids, K through 12, and the graduation was not just for seniors, it was for everyone. As the 6 of us sat nervously on stage, we first watched the pre-kindergartners walk across, taking their first steps as kindergartners. Then the 5th graders got up and moved into middle school, and the 8th graders got up and took their steps into high school. Watching this happen, it really hit me. School, as I had known it for the past 12 years of my life, was just over. As each group of younger kids walked across that stage, I caught myself having a flashback to mini Hayden. I had come so far, from a cute, shy elementary schooler to a painfully awkward and confused middle schooler to high school, which had felt like a complete lifetime in and of itself. And there I was, just like you today, sitting as a proud, albeit slightly overconfident, 18-year-old who was ready to join the real world. Take a minute now to celebrate all the graduations you've had before this one. I haven't known you for too many years, but I know that you have come a long way to become the humans you are right now. For me, graduations feel like they hold a little bit of attention. They're incredibly celebratory, marking the completion of years of hard work and dedication, but they also mark a moment of change and stepping into the unknown. This is a time where you kind of know what's happening next, but not really at all. These moments are exhilarating and freeing, as I hope you are feeling right now, but they can also be scary because you know that whatever you decide to do next will be new and probably a little uncomfortable. And this is what I really want to talk about today. What do we do when we graduate and throw ourselves into all this newness? What does that feel like? Because in reality, these big life transitional moments don't just stop when you're done with school. There will be new jobs, moves to new places, new relationships. Life is just this beautiful series of graduations. There's this principle in ecology that I think can help us think about these moments of change in our life. And if you were in my environmental science class, here's your shout out. You can prepare to roll your eyes at me for a second. It's called the intermediate disturbance hypothesis. I know it sounds sciencey, but stay with me. The theory supposes that an ecosystem will be its most diverse, aka the healthiest, when there is a moderate amount of disturbance present in that ecosystem. Ecologically, a disturbance is a temporary force that causes change. Some common examples include wildfires, droughts, wind bursts, floods. These scary, destructive forces act like reset buttons, letting new species come in to take the place of some of the old species that are cleared out. The intermediate disturbance hypothesis comes down to the idea that if the reset button never gets pressed, you get stagnant, overcrowded ecosystems taken over by dominant species. And if you hit the reset button too many times, you get ecosystems that are diminished, that can't thrive under the constant pressure of disturbance. Right in the middle, though, there's this sweet spot where hitting the reset button just enough times creates diversity between the old and the new. We say these ecosystems are in a dynamic equilibrium. This literally means they are undergoing change, but they are also balanced. Two words that are slightly contradictory can come together and talk about a healthy system. Why am I going full science teacher on you right now? Sorry. 2 reasons. First, we currently live in a world that is skewing towards too much disturbance, too many reset buttons. Ecologically, the climate crisis is generating more intense and more frequent disturbances that are pushing ecosystems and human systems towards collapse. Layer on the amount of hate and injustice that's circulating in the world right now, and you get to a conclusion that we're in a fragile place. Part of me didn't really want to go here today. I wanted to ignore how scary the world feels and just celebrate you. But as your Bay education has hopefully taught you, we can't shy away from these realities. Instead, we have to put ourselves in the middle of it all and ask, what's my role right now? I know that each of you is asking yourself that question already, which is why I've loved being your teacher. You bring me that hope. This brings me to the second reason that I want to talk about disturbance today. I'm a strong believer that as individuals, we can't be really effective at cultivating the big changes we want to see in the world without first figuring out how to navigate our own personal disturbances. It is very likely that this graduation and future life graduations will send you into some period of disturbance. You might feel a little lost, and the beyond high school world might not totally be as shiny as you're picturing it right now. That's totally okay. Remember what the intermediate disturbance hypothesis can teach us if we apply it as a metaphor to our own lives. Some disturbance is a good thing. Living a life with very few reset buttons can get a little boring, and too many can make us feel fragile and beat down. But that sweet spot, the moderate periods of disturbance where we can navigate change while also staying balanced, these can be really powerful times in our lives. This is when we learn the most about ourselves, we grow into our identities and complexities, and we move forward into figuring out our own individual place in the bigger picture. How we carry ourselves through these periods of disturbance can really dictate how life unfolds. So I'll offer you some ideas for how to navigate these times. These are tools that have been important to me in maintaining my own dynamic equilibrium. Take what you want from it. I know each of you will develop your own disturbance toolkit as you go. First, I urge you to pay attention. We live in a world of distraction, and it is way too tempting to try to avoid any disturbance in our life by burying ourselves in things that numb us out. Instead, do things that help you notice the world around you and how you are feeling. For me, this usually looks like spending time alone or just with my dog Joni outside. Maybe for you, it looks like playing music, writing, dancing, processing with a small group of friends, going for a run, or just sitting in mindfulness like we've done so many times together. While the venues for this work can be vastly different, the goal should hopefully be the same. Give yourself time to honestly ask yourself, how am I doing right now? And then notice what comes back. Be patient with yourself and notice patterns that emerge so you can make adjustments. Our busy lives tell us that we won't have time for this, but you should 100% make time for this. By giving yourself this gift of attention, you will be able to more fully engage with everything else. Second, you have to take responsibility. I know adults have been saying this to you since literally you could speak, but it gets a little real now that you are an adult, whatever that means. It all comes down to choices. Starting now, you will have way more say in the choices you get to make about your life. And you have to deal with whatever comes from those choices, which is sometimes hard. When we don't make the best choices, we default to regret, to complaining, to blaming others, or distraction, like I mentioned before. These reactions don't do anything for us. Depending on the situation, I think you have a couple options to take more responsibility. The first one is what I like to call, if you can't get out of it, get into it. I used to say this to students a lot on backpacking trips when they started to complain about the weight of their packs or the length of a hike. I would gently remind them that they signed up to be on this program, and we were 30 miles from the van, so we kind of had to keep going. Then I would suggest that as we walked, we could invent a song or play a game, and before you knew it, the complaining had stopped and the hiking day flew by. Sometimes in life, we get ourselves into hard situations, and we just have to keep going. If we can switch our mindset here to embrace these moments, to get into it just a little bit, we might even learn something or have a little fun amidst the hard stuff. The second option is the fix-it route. This is where you recognize that a choice you made had an impact on yourself or others, and you need to do something about that. It's scary to own up to our mistakes, and it will take work to make changes or repair harm. Sometimes we freeze or we run away and do nothing because we are afraid we will mess it up even more. Instead, be brave here. #BayBrave. If you know you need to fix something, try to fix it. Be humble and be gentle with yourself and others throughout this process. Third, we need to build community around ourselves. I very intentionally use the verb build here because community is not something that you just passively join. It takes work on your end, and it takes time. You have all done this during your time at Bay. You've built numerous communities in your teams, your clubs, your affinity spaces, classes, and friend groups. You know what it takes, and you know what a good community should feel like. The pillars of each community will be slightly different. I feel best in communities where there's trust and equal amounts of playfulness and vulnerability. You might prioritize different qualities, but as you move on to building new communities in your next steps, I encourage you to have really high standards. Only invest in spaces and people that make you feel good. And be patient. Like I said, this takes time, and you might need to search for a while till you land in the right vibe. You'll know when you find it. Finally, never forget to give gratitude, especially to those people that stick it out with you in your periods of disturbance. They are the real ones, and I have a guess that many of them are sitting here today, so make sure to send them some love. I want to model this last one by saying how grateful I am for you, class of 2024. As juniors, you greeted me in the midst of my own major life disturbance. I had left Colorado, a job I knew well, and a community of friends that I loved dearly, and landed here in San Francisco, the first city I'd ever lived in. I definitely felt lost and overwhelmed, and even regretted my decision more than once. But for the past 2 years, I got the chance to show up to work and share space with you. Thank you for being welcoming, kind, funny, and forgiving. Thank you for bringing your full self to this school and for letting me join and build community with you. You helped me settle into this new period in my life, and it feels pretty cool that now I get to send you off on your own next big transition. And so we have reached this moment where I get to stop talking, finally, and you get to walk across this stage. Cherish this moment and know that the fun stuff is really just getting started. Trust yourself, especially through the disturbances. We all know that you are going to do big, beautiful things. My one ask is to please don't forget to occasionally pull up, as you say, and tell us about them. We really appreciate the updates. Thank you, class of 2024. Congratulations. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Well, you can certainly see why the class of 2024 was so wise to choose Hayden as their speaker. It was amazing. Thank you. So, as Hayden noted, we are now ready to meet our graduates, right? So, I'm going to ask the first row to come up and get settled. Ready now? And we begin. Travis Henry Alt. Sophia Francesca Andronico. Hayden, can you step back just a little so I can see? Rowan Ellsworth Anhalt. Dakota Brandon Ash. Elia Avila. Jacob Frank Barron. Everett Baker Beedling. Cecilia Wallace Brady. Aiden Nicola Brown. Coral Buono. Oliver Lang Burrows. Marlea Busa Oden. Alexander Congdon Bustos. Nathaniel Francis Byron. Corbin Andy Cameron. Adelina Sanzano. Chloe Chan. Lucas Kensu Chang. Annabelle Madeline Cooney. Vivian Violet Cross. Vincent Seaver D'Amico. Giovanni William Depontieu. Kian Dirks. Graham Michael Diz. Forrest Faulkner Driscoll. Demetrius Decker. Kempton Davis Dunn IV. Leila Ishaqpur Silberman. Elizabeth Nicole Fair. Ava B. Felser. Catherine Lily McSpadden Fernandez. Ian Chase Friedman. Aaron Fujimoto. Devan Rahul Gandhi. Julia Ganju. Ilari Grace Glanville. Hayden F. Gong. Avery Grant Zodikoff. Reed James Greninger. Natalia Sofia Guzman Otoya. Chloe Halpin. Elliot Dean Hinkle. Sophia Ava Hung. Lowell Hewen Jackson. Marin Bridget Kalucky. Noelle Wood Kawaja. Kip Fu Sun Clivens. Elsa Faye Crummel. Henry Bryant Kutsky. Christopher Aaron Lamb. Timothy Liang. Renee Munhing Lin. Eleanor Hudson Ludwig. Ronan David Malka. Marika May Martin. Alana Michelle Miller. Ramzi Bishara Mudawar. Queenie Moy. As we are doing our mindful processing in and out of our chairs, just want to acknowledge Dean of Students Mio Burke, who's helping get everybody ready. She marshals them in. And our senior class dean, Erin Plantenberg, who makes sure they're getting down the stairs safely and back to their seats. So, shout out for them. Leo. I'm waiting for them to pass. Ruby Kathleen Farrell Orr. Rose Paganini. Gray Parsons. Janelli Perlera. Ella Jade Randall. Michael James Robb. Sylvia Parr Rosenfeld. Anderson Robert Rao. Tate Rowney. Roney, sorry. Isabel Manchel Rositsky. Oh, we're not there yet. No, it's a little chilly. Charlotte Grace Sheridan. Kyler McCrory Smith. Carney Maya Spillane. Ella Claire Sullivan. Nuri Fongyu Tam. Catherine Abby Taylor. Marlo Harris Tenenbaum. Theo Turpins. Jordan Rose Tapasio. Last box. Ava Camille Van Amerongen. Cole Salim Wilkins. Jacob Zachary Wilson. Esselyn Joy Wong. Samantha Wong. Fraser.
Right to the left. Deep breaths. Today's celebration was very much created by a village of staffalty and volunteers. I want to thank our incredible advancement, facilities, tech teams, and all the other staffalty, along with tons of volunteers, for all the details to come together, all in the service and celebration of our class of 2024. A reminder that we have a small reception, graduates, families, and staffalty, right in front of the school, right after the ceremony. It is a Bay School tradition since our founding to we gather this day grateful for all that has been throughout this curious and challenging time, for all that is among us today, and for all that will be in the bright future of the class of 2024. We give thanks for this color-splashed, hope-filled, Justice Olympic Games gone awry. We grow from this class's myriad voices full of wisdom, angst, and heart. We offer gratitude for you, the dreams that sustained you, and the destiny that summons you to become, each and every one of you, a unique gift to the human family. For all the gifts that grace this day, for the joy that accompanies it, for all the time together. Audience members, please rise to honor this exceptional group and remain in your seats until the graduates have departed the field. And graduates, the class of 2024, please stand. It is an honor to present to you the Bay School of San Francisco class of 2024. Woohoo!